run through the names in the collects, because lots of people have trouble pronouncing this, and if this thing really does get further along on the internet, then we should, let me just do a real quick run through for the pronunciation and the crosses. And basically it goes like this: Lao Tse and Siddhartha and Tahuti, Mohammed and Tomegatherion. With these also Pan, Mentu, and Heracles. With Catullus, Rabelais, Swinburne, and many an holy bard. Apollonius Tyaneus, Pythagoras, Bardesanus, and Hippolytus, that transmitted the light of the Gnosis to us, their successors and their heirs. And these also, Jacobus Burgundus Malensis the Martyr, Christian Rosenkreutz, Roderick Borgia, Pope Alexander VI, Sir Edward Kelly, Alphonse Louis Constant, Karl Kellner, Dr. Theodore Royce, Sir Alistair Crowley, Carl Johannes Germer, and Major Grady Lewis McMurtry. Basically, that's it. Okay. Now, we are at the point which, to Nancy and me, was the miracle. And I wish I had like a blackboard so I could write this down, because that's really what this is. It's a simple diagram. So let me ask you, if you would, to turn to page, they keep changing this book every time I open it. It's a pain in the neck. No, I guess this is a different mess. Oh, okay. Page 44. All right. Now there's a diagram of 5 crosses. All right. And the crosses go like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. All right. Now, the 5 crosses are referred to throughout the Mass Missal, throughout Liber 15. But they never, Crowley doesn't give a diagram anywhere else but here. But here he says he makes the 5 crosses on the cup. So it's not rocket science to understand or to intuit that the 5 crosses that he makes on the priestess with the salt water, and the 5 crosses that he makes on the priestess with the perfume, and the 5 crosses that he makes on the priestess during the consecration, where he says this is the covenant of resurrection, that they're all the same 5 crosses, you know, in the diagram that he gives us here on page 44. So now we get to the mystic marriage. We're back on page 42 of the Missal, okay? And here again, he says the priest makes the 5 crosses, and he gives a diagram, and it starts out 1, 2, 3 on paten and cup, and then he says 4 on paten alone, and then he says 5 on cup alone. All right? Now, if you look at the typography on page 44, this is the way it is in Liber 15, it almost looks like you're going from left to right, so that as if the cross would change. So you could intuit it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's in line 5. But that's wrong, because the diagram that he's showing us on the other page, page 44, is a graphic, okay? The diagram that he's showing us on page 42 is text, all right? So it's handling the same issue 2 different ways. And what I was explaining to you all yesterday is that I had taught it that he goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 30 years. That's the way I learned it, it's the way I taught it, and I finally lost my mind. And because I knew it was so wrong, and I could not solve it, no matter what I did. Nancy and I talked about it endlessly, and we got nowhere. I mean, nowhere. Until I finally said to her something, this is the end, I'm not doing this anymore. And because I taught it to a couple that are very spiritually active people, and it just brought to my mind the utter travesty of not knowing the right answer. And then by inspiration we discovered it. So I'm going to show that to you, and here's the way it is. Come here. Why don't you just sort of stand there or something for a moment, and okay. This is, let's say, actually why not sit there? Let's do that. Okay, I've got my arms extended along her thighs. The deacon and people finish, they say, so mote it be. You all sit after having stood, and the 2 children are here. Deacon is there, and then I rise. I'm holding the lance. Now, I'm going to stand here, even though I want you to see how beautifully this works. Actually, I'm not going to stand here because I can't. Can you all sit? All right, you're not going to be able to see. Go ahead. First place, this is how we wind up. The thing is between her knees like that. I'm like this, right? I rise. I take my lance. Now watch this. She takes do it again.
It's just very simple, just move it
in the text we say she indexes.
The edge of the cup, like this.
By touching her hand here, she knows that she's got it in exactly the right place. That's called indexing. It's a term actually from firearms training. Okay, she indexes the patent on the cup. All right. Now I am on the 3rd step, of course, and I make the 3 crosses. So I'm going to, and the text says, if you look at page 42, again, I'm standing on the 3rd step. He makes the 3 crosses on patent and cup. So I go 1, 2, 3, exactly the same as the diagram on page 44, and then she does that. I go 4, 5, which is 4 on the cup alone, on the patent alone, 5 on cup alone, right? And then she goes back into the nourishment goddess gesture. Now, you can take your arms down. The beauty of this is not going to be 100% clear until we get to section 8, where we have the mystic marriage and consumption of the elements. And I'm going to jump ahead there for 1 second just to show you how cool this is. And here, she is sitting like this. I'm standing here. I have just finished the anthem, right? The Thou who art I. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to stand back here so you can see this. Here's what Crowley says. The priest takes the patent. So I'm going to look at where the patent is. I'm crossing my hands. The priest takes the patent, and clasp it between the index and medius of the right hand. The priestess clasps the cup in her right hand. So I've made a cross. First place, I've reached over and made a cross. She takes it from this hand to this hand, she makes a cross. Now, here's the funny part. If you go to page 47, at the very top it says, the priestess extends the lance point with her left hand to receive the particle. Do you see that? How did the lance get into her hand? How did it get into her left hand? Remember, I'm the one holding it now. The answer is actually beautiful, and that's what makes the gesture on page 42 so absolutely mathematically perfect that I stand in all humility and tell you it is the absolute truth. Okay? Because what happens here is that on page 42, there's one more cross made, and that is that after I've taken this, and she's made her cross doing that, I pass her that. Now, this is in her left hand. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not on page 42, excuse me. That occurs on page 46. That's the other cross. Okay, let's go through that again. Start with it and everything else.
What section are we starting with?
We're starting right here.
Okay.
Okay? So here's the thing. The priest takes the paten. The priestess transfers the cup to her right hand. The priest passes the lance to her left hand. Now I'm getting ready to do, the next lesson, Lord, most secret, bless the spiritual food. Crowley's text on page 46 says the priest takes the paten between the index and medius of his right hand, which means he crosses, okay? The priestess clasps the cup in her right hand. We know it was in her left hand, so she's crossing. And then if she's going to have, now it's in her right hand, her left hand is empty. If she's going to have the lance in her left hand at the time when they do this together, how did it get into her left hand? It got into her left hand because he passed it to her, so he made a cross. Is there anything I can do to make this more clear? How could I demonstrate this better? Is there any way, do you all understand it? Does it make sense? It doesn't, does it? Okay. Let's try it again. Stand down, maybe. We used to always do practices for the Mass at the dinner table in a restaurant. And we always used, bad priest. Bad priest.
Bad priest.
Okay. Let's do this here. All right? Can you all see this? Can you see? How about if we do it here? That's better. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I want, Joseph, you read from page 46. All right?
Okay.
You read that.
Starting with Lord Most Secret.
No, dear. Starting with the instructions, the priest.
The priest takes the paten.
You're on the wrong side.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on. Okay, ready? We know where she is, right? We have just finished the anthem. The anthem begins on page 44, Thou art I beyond all I am. We all know where that is. Glory and worship unto thee, sap of the world, ash wonder tree. Okay. All sit. All right? Now. All right, Joseph, I'm going to trust you just to read. I can't hold the book open. All right, I'm standing like this, right? Sap of the world, ash wonder tree. Got it? All right, Joseph, go.
The priest takes the paten between the index and medius of the right hand.
That's like this. Go ahead.
The priestess clasps the cup in her right hand.
She had to transfer, right? And this doesn't say it in the script, but he transfers the lance from his left hand to her left hand. All right, that's an X. Did you see that? Okay. Now, do it the other way. Go to page 42, Joseph, and read the priest makes the 5 crosses, all right? Now, we're starting out, the deacon says, Om, Om, Om. This is at the end of the collects. The people say, so mote it be. All sit, deacon and children attend the priest, and priest is ready to hold any weapon as may be necessary. Okay, now read, Joe.
The priestess makes the 5 crosses on the paten and cup.
All right, start from up here. This is how she is, okay? And now, when we're ready to start this section, go. Go. You do that, okay? Say it
The
again.
priest makes the 5 crosses on the paten and cup.
Makes the 5 crosses. All right, right. And then read how it's like. You've got 1. You've got 2. You've got 3. Read.
On the paten alone.
4 on the paten line.
4 on the paten alone.
4.
And 5 on the cup alone.
5. Okay. Now, you see that there's again a series of crosses. She's doing this, just like we did this in section 8, right? And the beauty of this, and I repeat, you're going to have to look at this on your own. I cannot convey the enthusiasm by sitting here talking to you, but the fact is that this matches the diagram at the top of page 44 for the 5 crosses. So it means you're making the 5 crosses 4 or 5 times throughout the ritual, and in this way you're doing it the same way every time, rather than this idiotic misinterpretation that I did 30 years based on, not understanding the difference between typography and diagrams. There's a difference. I'm a typesetter. I know that there's a difference, all right? I know that if I want to say something to you in a text, I have to go from left to right. I just have to. It's the textual analysis is exactly the same situation that we are discussing for the issue with the 2 commas offsetting the deacon and children following. In other words, we're using a method of textual analysis to determine what Crowley meant in the ritual. And I would stipulate that Crowley didn't even totally write the ritual himself. I would say that this was an inspired ritual as the central and secret, ritual of the O.T.O. Not that he was sitting there taking dictation like the Book of the Law, but he was being inspired. And so what did those commas mean? Well, to us, it means that the priest enters the tomb alone. That's all that it means. And it also means the reasons that he does that, we went over yesterday, so I'm not going to talk about that again. But in any case, that's the big whoop, and that is what caused Nancy and I to make this book. And that being said, let us now go back to you guys being the, yes sir?
So the way it was taught before, the priestess brought the 2, the paten and the chalice together, and then she just extended her hands this way, was the way it was taught before? She just opened her hands back up?
No, I actually we learned the indexing business. We learned this bit from in Phoenix. That's how they were doing it there, and they had learned it through the California bishops. I'm not sure which one, but I'm not sure how they found this little thing. But then they go on to do it, and the whole thing is totally wrong after that. But this thing is what we learned there. We never did the indexing. What we did before was, I think, just put that down. Stand up. I think what we did was, I think that she was holding it like this. Right, and I would do 1 on her, 2 here, 3 here, and then it would say do it on the paten alone, and then this. So I was breaking the sequence of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is wrong. And whatever they were doing in Phoenix was equally wrong in a different, it was wrong in a different way. But that was the experience, seeing what the other people had come up with, was the experience. Can you stand in front here so I can see you?
No.
Come on, I need to see, I need to think back for a second. That was what gave us the clue to the solution, correct? Okay. All right, so do you guys want to get back to work, shoes off? Let's see where we are. You are here. All right. You're here.
We'll need a new child as well, right?
You don't need to make quite as much a leap. Believe me, you can trust him as you work on this together. You will be able to trust him to kind of, as you straighten your arms, he'll just guide you up there. It's just so easy. And I know you haven't done it before. Don't worry about it.
If it's overly dramatic, I'm a little bit worried about bumping things behind me.
Don't you worry about it. You let him, trust him to do it, and he will. As you practice. I mean, you're not going to know it immediately. I'm just saying that was much better than yesterday. And you only did it twice or 3 or 4 times yesterday, and look at today, it's even better. But there, you can make it even better than that. Okay? You're going to do this.
This is 4 and 5, this one.
I'm going to, all right, stop. Okay? All right, your arms are up. We have just said, Zeitlin has just said, already star or else unto them may be the grand accomplishment, yea, the accomplishment of their true wills, om, 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 and then everybody says, so mote it be. All sit. Okay. Now, you index the girl. She's obviously been to firearms classes. You have. All right. You tell these Florida babes. All right. So she's done that beautifully. Now, you're going to make the 3 crosses in that triangle over those 2 together. Move this away from your field of action. So you're going to hold that here. 1. No. Ready? Closer. All right, now do it again yourself. Okay. Perfect, beautiful. Okay, now you swing your arms back out. Right back to where you were. And now you, Joe, stop. You transfer the lance from your left hand to your right hand, right? You put your hand under her like that, all right? Now this is again an area where I changed the script. I added in editorial brackets with no attempt to pretend that I was Crowley. On page 42, Crowley writes, he takes the cup. So in order to balance this ritual totally the way we know it is, I'm assuming that's a typo or something. Let me try. You guys can see this? Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm saying he takes the pattern. And now you say,
Life of man upon earth, fruit of labor, sustenance of endeavor, thus be thou nourishment of the spirit.
okay, now, he touches the host with the lance. So here's what you do. So you better move, or you're going to get whacked. No, that's not how you're going to hold the lance. You're going to hold the lance.
You're going to touch the pattern with the lance.
Yeah.
You're going to do this. Look, you're holding it like this, right?
Okay, so reverse grip.
Well, isn't that going to be easier to do this?
Yeah.
Where'd the book go? All right. All right, so he takes the pattern. All right. You say the life of man. You touch the host. Excellent, excellent. All right, perfect. You're going to put it right in the middle. Joseph, especially in a temple this size, you are going to keep your eye on this thing here. Because if there's somebody here, you're going to whack them.
It's
It
happening.
wouldn't be the first time. But we try to avoid it.
Taking battle damage before.
Yeah, all right. And then you're going to say,
By the virtue of the rod, be this the bread, the body of God.
okay, now, yeah, be this bread the body of God. All right, now, this is magic, and we've already discussed the fact that we're not going to talk a lot of theory, but we are going to point out that he is committing an act of magic, all right? He is infusing the bread with the power of the lance. Remember we were over there and talked about how the lance is a direct sign of God, and you pointed out yesterday how, you know, why we lower the lance, the priest lowers the lance. Maybe it's in this gesture that the key to the question we discussed yesterday is. I don't remember for sure if you were the one that asked it, but you were, did you? Anyway, we went through it yesterday is why he does this. Maybe it's a mimicking of this, that he's consecrating the earth, perhaps, who knows. But anyway, you're going to, now turn your hand the other way. Good. Now, so how, this is going to be up to you. It's not up to me to tell you how to do your magic. No man knows the name by which another invokes his God. So you're going to have to somehow or other, magically in your own mind, transfer that power down to the a host. Okay? All right. Now, you've done that. Lower the lance. Put it in your left hand this time. Take the paten, take the host off the paten. No, the host, the bread. All right, and you're holding it like this. All right, and you say, "O.T.O to soma mu."
O.T.O to soma mu.
And that means this is my body. Okay. Now here you said, be this bread the body of God, and here you said, this is my body. What does a magician do when he makes a statement like that? If he has any sense, he better duck. Duck. Kneel. Kneel. Quick. Just proclaimed that, that's genuflection. Kneel is, you just proclaimed a true blasphemy in the old system, all right? You said, this is my body, that I'm God, all this stuff, so duck. All right, you kneel. Adore, because for us, we're not worried about that. But I want to see you holding that up there like this for the audience, so that we're aware of the fact that that's in your hands and that's what you're ducking about, and the whole 9 yards. All right, and you're looking at that, and he kneels, adores, rises. Turns and shows the host to people. Keep that elevated. Keep it elevated. Go this way. All right. You're looking at it. Wait. Can I?
You can determine.
Yeah. Here's what we're doing. Right. You're turning. You're keeping your eyes focused on it, and you keep going around and around and around and around. You don't pause. All right. Stop. You're not making eye contact with the audience at this point. All of your focus is on here, and you're showing it to them like this. All right, you go back, you replace the host, and adore. Give me some kind of gesture, whether you bow your head, something to show me that you know you're adoring. Hold the lance with both hands. When you don't have anything in your hand, and you're not going like that, you just hold the lance with 2 hands, right? Okay, now, we're going with this mathematical precision that we talked about yesterday. What has he done? He's done something on the left. What is he going to do now? Do it on the right. He did something with the host. What is he going to do now? He's going to do it with the cup. If he turns, if before you held the lance in your right hand and touched the paten with your left hand, Now you're going to hold the lance with your left hand, and you're going to touch the cup with your right hand. You're going to take the cup, which that was that delicate gesture I gave you before, that you just sort of touch her hand. That's it. You're just standing there. And you say this.
Vehicle of the joy, man upon earth, solace of labor, inspiration of endeavor, thus be thou ecstasy of the Spirit.
All right, and then you consecrate. You're going to touch the cup with the lance. So that's it. Exact. Okay, you want to put your right hand that way? That's fine. Either way, whatever's comfortable for you. Remember this. I'm not doing it for you. Try to get as much as you can in the center of the cup, and now you're saying, by the virtue.
By the virtue of the rod, be this wine the blood of God.
Okay. Then you lower your lance in your left hand again. Take the cup out of her hand this time. Center it more or less over her and say this.
Todo este to poterianto haimalo amatos mu.
Yeah. Tuto esti to poterion tu haimotos mu.
Tu haimotos mu.
Okay. You kneel. Adore. Rise. Turn. Show the cup to the people. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Replace the cup. You get to slide your hand up under the, excellent, excellent, Harper. And adore. Okay. Now, we have just completed part 1 of section 6. Are there any questions? Do you get the picture? Do you see the perfect balance in every way? Do you want to sit down, doll? 93. Does everybody have, do you have it clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zeitlin, you have it clear?
Simon had a question about genuflection and what is an adoration. A genuflect is always on the right.
Yeah, I knew genuflect is always on the right knee, kneeling's both knees. I was wondering if genuflect is in any way interchangeable with adore, and Nancy said no. So adoring should be more of a bow, a reverential bow.
I would say,
Genuflecting is a right knee. Always.
right, genuflecting is the right knee from Catholic tradition, okay? Kneeling is both knees, again, from Catholic tradition as far as I know.
Yeah, it was more the adoring, like where's the line there? It's just sort of
I would say that
interpretive thing.
if for you, as for you as an individual, if genuflecting is the best way for you to adore, then there's no harm in your genuflecting. I bow, okay? I know someone who went through a whole thing about the 30-degree bow, that if you bow more than 30 degrees, you're Obama before the Saudi king. So I don't want to get into like the 30 degrees, but he said a martial artist would never go to the 30 degrees. So but I said that I do it like this, and then he said that I still qualify as a martial artist despite the
The
fact.
45 degrees are okay. 45 you can do, not the 30.
15 degrees. Not bowing the head. To me, if I touch my chest and I lower my head, that's a sign of adoration.
But
Yeah.
I've seen people also just adore it this way.
Right, and
Yeah.
Nancy, and you do something like, you do it differently. You do something like this, or
There was
There-
a priest that I worked with that he would take his lance and he would sort of cradle it, and then he would do both hands like this, close to his breast, and do this
I don't like that.
with this.
I don't like that because, again, the lance is a weapon. I don't like sticking it under your armpit. I don't like that. There are certain things, the lance is more important than the gesture. The lance is more important than the priest.
Right.
Okay? All right. All right. Now we're going on part 2 of section 6. All right? This, for some reason, is more complicated than it seems, and I have yet to figure out why this is such an opportunity for us to grow up in this section, but I will simply point out to you that it is amazingly complicated. All right. Now, you're going to say,
For this is the covenant of resurrection.
okay, you're going to make the 5 crosses over the priestess. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder, left thigh, that left, other left, not left. All right. This is the next place, the 3rd or 4th place where we've done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfection, perfecto. Okay. Then you say,
Accept, O Lord, this sacrifice of life and joy, true warrants of the covenant of resurrection.
okay, now you offer her the lance tip, which she's going to, no, not, again, you're going to hit her in the head. Yeah, like that. And she kisses it 1 time. Okay? You take it and put it between her knees. All right, if you want to put it down there, that's fine. You touch her upon the body, go high, go on the wrist, just perfect. Go way up and then fling your arms upward as if comprehending the Excellent. And all right, is that, okay, I'm going to let you do it. I would try to make it even wider. Excellent, okay. And then you're going to say, you're not going to say you're going to proclaim,
This way.
let this offering.
Let this offering be borne upon the waves of Aether to our Lord and Father, the Son that travelleth over the heavens, in his name.
Excellent. Now, you close your hands. So what I do is I do like this, okay? And now you're going to kiss the priestess between the breasts. So you're going to reach around the lance, holding your hands like this. Okay. There we go. Perfect. All right. And now you're going to make the 3 great crosses over the paten, the cup, and yourself. So take the lance in your left hand, okay, and make a great cross over the paten. 1. No, you didn't go down. See, it's a 4. It's an equal out of a 4 cross. Perfect. All right. Now turn to the cup and make a great cross over the cup. Perfect. And now you go like this. Do, 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 do. All right, and Zeitlin and crowd go like that and join. You're going to hear all these people go like that. It's going to blow your mind. It's cool. All right. And then you're going to say,
Hear ye all, saints of the true church of old time, now essentially present, that of ye we claim heirship, with ye we claim communion, from ye we claim benediction, in the name of E.G.C.
all right, now let's stop for a split second and interrupt ourselves and say, you're just saying, hear ye all saints of the true church of old time, now essentially present. Why is that? Because Zeitlin, not 10 minutes ago, just went through a whole litany of names and invoked them into the circle. So they're essentially present. Plus, each time he made the cross, he was sort of, projecting the energy of that saint into your spinal column, and somehow or other, they're essentially present within your aura. Because again, your aura is not Joseph the guy. Your aura is priest of the Mass, priest of the Lord, priest of the gods.
Brother Jim, is it okay if we sit for this second?
Yeah,
Since it's
please,
mostly
please.
priest and priestess.
Good Christ. Is it okay if I sit for this second? All right. All right. Now, okay. Now, I want you to step down for a second because I want the people to see this. Now, what she's going to do, the next instruction is he makes the 3 crosses on paten and cup together. See, before, it says he closes his hands, kisses the priestess between the breasts, and make 3 great crosses over the paten, the cup, and himself. So I had him going 1 big cross, 2 big cross, up, 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 boom, big cross. All right. But here it says again, paten and cup together, just like before. So index your paten and cup, because there are 3 crosses. He doesn't have to make them in that triangular activity, because that's not how it's called for. There's no diagram like that. He makes the 3 crosses on paten and cup together. So do that.
So is my focus on both objects together?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And not
Plus the babe. I mean, you know, you have to remember that she is always the center of your attention, which is very easy for men, because one of the reasons this ritual is so much fun, right?
So,
Okay,
but
so,
Jim,
all right,
this is
hang
after
on,
the.
hang on. All right, go ahead. Here you are, in the name of, put your both hands on the lens. E.O. That's where we left off, right? Now you have both hands on the lens. You go index, cut. All right, now you swing this out to your left hand again and go 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. 2, 3. Okay. Now you swing your arms out again, Harper. Okay, now watch this. You stop. Relax. You're not going to have time. All right? You're not going to have time to do anything.
Right.
All right? What you're going to do is you're going to uncover the cup. Put this here. I might point out to everybody that this is already page 43 of this, which is actually started on page 25. So we are a long way into the Mass before this cup is uncovered for the first time. The minute, the instant, keep it as a mnemonic device, that you uncover the cup, you genuflect. Simple. Every time the cup is uncovered, the first thing I do is genuflect. Okay? Now, rise. Okay. Now, here again is a little instruction that is not exactly in the script. Take the lance and put it between our knees again. Do we have a Triscuit or something in there? Did I see a box of Triscuit? Seriously, go back. Put this on top. Do it again. We're going to do it again. We're going to get it right. Hold the lance in front of you. All right? Index. Swing the lance out to your left. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Swing them out. Stick this between your knees. Uncover the cup. Genuine. Rise. Take the cup in your left hand. Let's go over it now. Take the host in your right. Okay. Do you see that he's made another cross? Mm-hmm. He's taken the cup with his left. He moves it. You're going to move. Watch this. Look at me. You're going to take the cup with your left hand. You're going to get it out of your way, then you're going to reach over to take the host with your right. Okay? So you're not going to get yourself screwed up there with the lance, but that's another one of these crosses that we've been talking about. Okay? He uncovers the cup, genuflects, takes the cup in his left hand, takes the host in his right. With the host, he makes 5 crosses on the cup. Now, watch. All right, watch this. If you do this the right way, let me do it. Sure. If you do this the right way, what is very cool with this woman-man thing again, is that if you hold the cup about here, and you go like 1, 2, I'm making it on the cup, but actually, I'm making on her at the same time. Very cool.
So then the
Very,
crosses are in
very
sync.
cool. It doesn't say it in the script, but you see it. If you hold it there, you're seeing her shoulders, and
Right.
you're seeing her thighs. It's very cool.
So the crosses line up in the same place.
Yeah. All right? Raise the cup a bit. Remember, you're making the crosses on the cup, not on her. Don't get confused by what I just told you. I gave you a little secret. Good, good. That's where I had it. So she's got it right. Honey, has she got her left hand in the, up during this? She's not holding
No,
anything.
no,
You don't
no.
need to hold it.
just-
If
it
you're
just seems so
comfortable, it looks beautiful. But if you're comfortable, it's fine. All right, you got that. Now, you elevate the cup and the host above the cup, and raise it all the way up. Remember, you want us to see it. The bell rings, okay? And you say, Hagios, 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 Iao.
Agios, 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 Iao.
Now, what the deacon is doing is he is not replacing the bells on the altar until you're finished with that, so it doesn't interfere. So there's a slight ringing left over, hopefully, from the bells, and there's no interruption. Now, you're going to make another one of those X's. You're going to lower your hands. You're going to replace the host first. Then you're going to replace the cup. Then, since she's got both hands full, who is going to recover the cup? You. Then you're going to take your lance back, and you're going to put it right in the middle with two hands, and you're going to adore. Okay?